And you are right in time for our healthcare segment, where we get to talk matters our health. And this morning we will be talking about sickle cell disease, and we mainly are going to be having our focus on pain management strategies and the treatment options available for the people living with sickle cell anemia, and then sickle cell disease. And then we will also be looking at how to ensure that we are managing it also in children as well. And I'm pleased to be joined by Peter Ahago, who is the program officer at the Children's Sickle Cell Foundation, and he is also a sickle cell caregiver. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on board. Let us begin with first, before you get to tell us what the foundation is all about, let us first define sickle cell. What is it?
Yeah, thank you again, Vivian, for having me here. Sickle cell disease is a genetic blood disorder which affects red blood cells. And for a child to be born with sickle cell disease, both parents have to be carriers. They have to be carrying the genes, the mother and the father. Basically, a red blood cell, normally it's supposed to live in the body for 120 days. That's close to about 4 months. But when someone has this gene, a red blood cell lives only up to from 10 to 40 days. Then from being round, because round is the normal, or disc shape is the normal shape, it takes another shape, it mutates from being round to sickle. And that is where the name sickle cell disease comes from. It is actually sickle's crescent shape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get into more about that. But let's get into the foundation. So it's called the Children's Sickle Cell Foundation. Tell me, you know, the work you do on there as the program officer, and just when it was started, why it was started, and the work that the foundation does.
Yeah, Children Sickle Cell Foundation, in bracket CSCF, was started way back in 2001. And this was after parents, adults living with sickle cell disease, were frustrated. They didn't know what to do. They used to meet at a clinic and they were like complaining. They didn't have more information, no one to help them. And through the advice and guidance of our patron, Dr. Casey Wafula, Children Sickle Cell Foundation was started then. And up to now, we are actually celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. And we have done a lot. We have been doing a lot of training, awareness. We partner also with the county governments and help also on how we can disseminate the information to the lower ground, whereby we help them open up clinics at the lower level, because most of the time we only hear and talk about sickle cell at the referral level 5 and 6 hospital. So we wanted people from the lower level also to be empowered with the information, because that's where health starts from. Health is a devolved function which actually starts from the village. And from level 1, the people who have to be empowered with the information are the CHPs, that the people who are in the village, they meet people or children who are living with the condition, but when they don't know where to refer them to. So we decided to open up clinics. If you go to Mombasa, we work with Membeteare, which is a level 2 hospital. Kisumu, we work with Katito, which is a level 2 hospital. In Migori, there is a Rongo sub-county. So apart from awareness and the training of CHPs, healthcare providers, we also do other things, like we do blood drives. Because sickle cell disease, it affects blood. When children go to the hospital, sometimes the blood level is down, they need transfusion. So we decided also to conduct blood drives so that we can have our blood banks with blood, so that whenever the children need blood, actually they can get blood. Not only children who are living with sickle cell or people who are living with sickle cell only, but to the general, because you can't own blood. Once it's in the bank, it's for the general public. People who need blood, they get it. But our focus was for our patients, and it has been rolled out to the general public. So we do blood drive. We also do community events like football matches, just to bring the community together, creating awareness. So those are some of the things we have done. And at Children's Sickle Cell Foundation, we are committed to improving quality of life to those people who are affected and are living with sickle cell disease, from childhood to adulthood. Yes.
So at the foundation, you do not only work with children, or you don't only deal with the children living with sickle cell. It's for everyone who lives with sickle cell.
The word children in the name of the foundation, that's just a name. But we deal with everyone in the sickle cell space. Remember, anyone who is born is a child. And these people grow, they transit to adulthood, they become older. So they are no longer.
Eventually, so they don't remain as children.
Remain to be children.
I get it.
So it doesn't mean that once you stop being a child, we stop looking after you. You are still within the space.
Okay, I get you on that. Now, you know, as a sickle cell caregiver yourself, because you are also a sickle cell caregiver, if you're open to talk about it, you have children who are living with sickle cell.
Yeah, exactly. I actually have 2 children living with sickle cell disease, and that is the main reason why I found myself into this space. Initially, I have my background in engineering, not in the health space. But when we first got our firstborn, later on diagnosed with sickle cell disease, that changed my focus. And that is how I found myself now into the organization and talking about sickle cell disease today. My firstborn is 15 years old, with a girl, and the secondborn is turning 14, and the last one, who is a male one, doesn't have sickle cell, is not even a carrier. So I'm also in that space of giving care to my own children, not just other children, but my own children.
So you experience it firsthand as well.
Yes.
You know, just when exactly were your children diagnosed with sickle cell? Is this something that is picked immediately from birth, or does it take a while?
It depends. Like in my case, it took us 5 years. But this doesn't mean my firstborn child was not suffering. She suffered a lot, but we didn't know what was actually happening. Like any other parent, you will try everything out to see whether the child will be fine. And you try medication, you try any form of management. And remember, you are not managing sickle cell, you are managing just pain, you are managing fever, you are managing, you try anything and everything out. Until such a time at age 5, when we now got to realize through diagnosis that she had sickle cell disease. And that is where the focus was now turned into management of sickle cell disease. But generally, a child is born with sickle cell disease. Any child who is a sickler, sometimes when they are young, it's not possible to be able to tell whether they have sickle cell disease, because they are, there is what we call fetal hemoglobin. So that's what protects them at that age. When they reach, most of them reach at age 5 to 6 months, that is when you start to see some of the signs and symptoms of sickle cell disease. So majority of them are diagnosed at age 5 and are confirmed to be living with the sickle cell disease, and that is when the management starts. But it doesn't mean it started at 5 months. They were born with it. It's only that it was not showing. Yes.
So we'll get into the signs and symptoms of it. But you know, for people living with sickle cell disease, pain crises are the main thing most of the time, and this is the most challenging bit for most of the people living with sickle cell. So
exactly.
You mentioned that your child got diagnosed at age 5, but you believe they were suffering before then, because you know, was it because of the pain crisis? She used to get the pain crisis, but you couldn't tell, because now for a child, they can't tell you this is what is happening.
Yes.
They are small. So you have to figure out, why is she crying all the time? Why is he crying all the time? So is there a particular age when someone living with sickle cell or someone born with sickle cell disease experiences the pains?
Yes. Children, they communicate. And because they cannot talk to each other or to talk to parents the way we are talking, they will cry when something is wrong. Now, during this time that a child is experiencing pain, and especially most of them starts from age 5 months to 6 months. That is when now the fetal hemoglobin goes down and the S gene comes up, and that is the point where the red blood cells now, instead of maintaining its normal shape, round shape, now they begin to sickles. When they sickles, number one, they compromise the amount of oxygen that is carried. But then, because the work of a red blood cells is to transport the oxygen throughout the body, the parts of the body that needs oxygen will get that by the red blood cells. Is the one that is going to transport oxygen and also nutrients to those parts. So when it's now takes shape, the sickle shape, number one, it cannot carry the oxygen. Number two, the lifespan is too short. Number three, the movement is compromised. They are sticky and rigid. They cannot flow freely in the blood vessels. They stuck and cause blockages. Once the blockage is caused now, at that point, the pain will begin to occur. When it's on the hand, the child will tell you, and a young child will not tell you, my hand is paining, my leg is paining, my stomach, because blockage can happen anywhere in the body. Sometimes it's just their back, sometimes it's just the stomach or their leg. Imagine a young child who cannot talk, won't tell you my leg, but you'll just realize he's crying. Sometimes when you touch their leg or that part which is paining, they cry a lot. So that is the point when we talk about painful crisis. Yes.
Okay. How does sickle cell differ, you know, between adults and children? When people living with sickle cell now, they grow to adulthood, the management is now, I can say, easier now, because big people can tell when crisis, because they feel their body, they can foretell when the crisis is about to come. They can manage themselves. There are things they cannot do. There are places they cannot go. They know how to manage themselves. But a young child does not know, will play like any other child when they are able to play. They will do things like any other child can do, and those are some of the things that would trigger crisis. But an adult person knows that, oh, I'm not supposed to, the weather is cold, I'm not supposed to put on like this, I need to keep warm. A young child, unless you tell him or her, go wear your sweater, drink warm water, don't play outside, it's cold, don't do this. But an adult person will definitely just understand her body or his body, and just to avoid some of the things that could trigger crisis. These are the difference between a young person
a child and of course an adult person,
living
yes.
with sickle cell.
Yeah.
Let's get to the signs. You know, what are some of the symptoms and the signs that you can easily point out, and maybe you can be in a position to assume that maybe my child has sickle cell, so go get them diagnosed or go get them checked at the hospital? What are some things that maybe a parent can be looking out for?
Yeah, some of the early signs and symptoms of sickle cell disease, like I said, from age 6, most of them begin to experience these complications. Now, there is what we call dactylitis, swelling of hands and feet. You find that the fingers are swollen, and it's so painful that that child cannot even greet you. When you try to touch it, it's so painful. Sometimes, again, that is number one. Number two, there is what we call jaundice. You find that the yellowing of the eyes are just yellow, and note that when a child is jaundiced, it's definitely sickle cell. There are so many problems in the body that can cause the eyes to become yellow. And even the body, sometimes their paleness. Yeah. So when you find that a child has jaundice, body is pale, a child has frequent fever, a child, always there is infections, there is lack of appetite, a child cannot feed well. There are things like I said, fever and lack of appetite. So these are some of the symptoms, that you could see in a child and suspect a child has sickle cell. Only if you know and you've learned about sickle cell. Because most parents see these things, but they don't take them seriously. Like, for example, when a child is having dactylitis, the hands are swollen. They don't suspect sickle cell, and they begin now to massage them. Some even use hot water just to try to press it and see whether it's going to get normal. Some try to use things like rope just to massage hardly, which is not supposed to be, because that child is experiencing a lot of pain. So when when you notice these signs, it's advisable that you take action very fast and see the doctor, because it's only the doctor through testing, because you cannot also tell by just looking at the child and say that they have sickle cell. It has to be tested. Exactly. It has to be. There is a test that the doctor has to run on this child just to confirm. It's a confirmatory test that the child has sickle cell. Otherwise, just by looking at the child that he has jaundice, there could be some other things in the body that could also cause the jaundice.
All right. Okay. Now, there's a lot of myths surrounding, sickle cell disease. Some which are quite unfortunate, because they even speak around, the lifespan of someone that is living with sickle cell disease. Maybe if you can just demystify some of this. A lot of myths and misconceptions have been going around, and it's because before people did not have adequate information about sickle cell disease, and it was believed that people or a child with sickle cell disease cannot live beyond, some will tell you 5 years, some will tell you 10 years, and some will tell you if they go past 18 years, then they are off the hook, they don't have sickle cell again, which is not the case. And the reason why I think they say so, before, when there were no treatment, there were no, a lot of research had not been done. We didn't even have people who were qualified to manage sickle cell disease. People were just living just by the grace of God. And imagine someone with
HB of 6 or 7, which is far much below a normal human being should live with, does not have any follow-up, does not know any doctor, does not use any drug. This person is just living by the grace of God. Anything can trigger and this person can die. But now a lot of research has been done. We have medicines for management. A lot of awareness has been done. So these people can live like any other person until such a time God will call them like any other person, because all of us will die. So with proper management, people can live to the older age. And that is why we are in this space doing this work, to ensure that they get the quality. We are dedicated to ensuring that people living with sickle cell disease, they live to the old age by giving quality of life through awareness and the trainings, the things that we do. So by providing proper management, people can live to the old age. In our clinics, we have people in their 40s, 50s. There is a lady in our clinic who is turning now 58. And I know also of a retired teacher who is, actually he is supposed to be 67 now and is there. So these are old people. These are people with their grandchildren.
So it's proof that people with sickle cell actually...
And we are not talking about people in other countries. There are people I can call here and you greet them, you talk with them, and they give you their stories, not just myths. So we demystify those myths. I know a lot is being said there, including the sickle cell itself. There are people who said, this is a curse. And like I remember in my story, at some point I was told it's the devil who was actually drinking the blood of my children, because most of the time they're anemic, they have little blood, and when they have low blood level, there is a lot of things that are happening. Infection is always there. Painful crisis, they can't eat because lack of appetite. You know, when you have infection, you don't have appetite. You can't feed well. So every time when they were having low blood level, you are told maybe it's Satan who is drinking the blood of your child. You know, things like that. Maybe something happened in your family. Maybe, you know, so many bad things which are not even in a human. Yes.
So clearly more awareness needs to be done on sickle cell disease.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I thank God we are not where we were like 2-3 years ago. Currently, and we have not done to 100%. We are still doing it, creating awareness, because right now we can come to studio like now and talk about sickle cell. There before, there was nothing like this. And I believe so many people are getting this information, and it's something that we have done before. And there is a lot of feedback. People are calling, get to know their status, where can they get help. And even the government is trying. The government now acknowledges sickle cell, and the government has come up with the guideline on management of sickle cell. Actually, when you go to the public hospitals, doctors are empowered with the equipment of management of sickle cell. We even participated as Children's Sickle Cell Foundation to produce a simplified guideline for caregivers and people who are living with sickle cell. We translated the one that was released by the government into a simplified language that a caregiver, any other person, would read and understand what sickle cell disease is all about. So it's everywhere, the information is out there, but we are still pushing and following up to ensure that people have the knowledge on sickle cell disease. That's why we do football awareness during awareness month in September. September is usually sickle cell awareness month. We do football, blood drive, so many activities just to create awareness with the general public. And also during World Sickle Cell Day, the government conducts events. Like last year, we were in Kilifi. The Ministry of Health embraces and acknowledges the world event, and sickle cell disease is celebrated. So we are somewhere. Yes, we are somewhere.
A lot of work has been put in to
Yes,
ensure that the awareness is out there. As you also still continue to, create more awareness around it.
Yes.
Okay, so is sickle cell disease curable, or is it a chronic illness? I feel like it's really important for us to clarify that, because of what is happening right now. Some people, you go to some religious people and they tell you, do not take these drugs anymore. You are fully healed, and it has brought some controversy. So for someone who may be watching, is it something that can be cured, or you need to keep on, taking your medication?
Yes, let me start with a chronic. It is a chronic illness, yes. It is genetically acquired, yes. And currently, it is curable. There is cure for sickle cell. Okay. And the only proof for sickle cell, the only cure that has been proven is through bone marrow transplant.
Okay.
And it's not something that you can get locally. It's not something that is so cheap to get. So many people, I've seen a number of people who have gone through a bone marrow. They do it outside the country. And again, there are those who have gone for it and did not make it back. So again, it's a 50-50 thing. There are those who are making it and they are doing well. They have been cured. But there are those who went for it but did not make it work. So the only thing I can say now, management is key. And before even thinking of cure through the bone marrow transplant, sit down with your doctor. Listen to what your doctor tells you, because I know the doctor will run quite a number of tests for you to, because not everybody is qualified for the procedure. It's a very delicate procedure and very expensive. Yeah, so you sit down, discuss with your doctor, then you will be advised accordingly. About the religious leaders, this is what I will have to say. I know there is a lot of debate out there about the miracle and the cure. Number one, a miracle is done by God, the hand of God alone. And you cannot twist God to do a miracle when he's not ready to perform a miracle. Miracle can happen. We are believers. We are people who believe that miracles are there. But until such a time that a miracle happens, this person remains being the hands of the doctor. And even when you go, because we are not telling people not to go to church to be prayed for. Personally, I'm a prayerful person. I go to church. But even when a miracle happens, still go back to the doctor. Tell the doctor a miracle has happened. The doctor will run a test just to confirm, not doubting God. Let the doctor run a test just to confirm indeed God's hand has worked, a miracle has happened, and this person is off. But if it's not that route, don't be lied to. And I would also advise people out there, discuss with your man of God. Even doctors, God has put them there to help us. They are working for God. They are taking care of our lives. let this doctor, the man of God who tells you not to go to the hospital is lying to you. And the man of God who tells you go to the hospital, confirm. Let the doctor runs a test on you, is telling you the truth.
Yeah.
But when the doctor tells you you have sickle cell, please believe, because it's not him. The science in your system proves that you still have the disease. Yes.
Got it. All right, now we need to be finalizing on our conversation, and I want to ask to finish off with the pain management strategies. I want us to first look at just the non-drug methods of, managing or reducing pain.
I know there is a lot that people do at home. We call them home remedies. Because sometimes it strikes at the middle of the night. You don't have anyone to take you to the hospital. Maybe the hospital is far, and especially those who are living in the remote areas, the up countries. So sometimes how you manage, you can start with, let's say it's a child is experiencing pain. You can try to administer warm water bottle. It's a therapy. You just used hot water bottle actually. You put it where it's paining, or if you don't have a hot water bottle, you can use just like a towel, put in warm water, just put it there. Because remember, there is a blockage. When you do like that, or you do gentle rubbing, when you do that, the vessels now expand, that heat, the warmth, and now maybe the blood will now start passing where there is a blockage. Administer things like let the person drink a lot of water, and as you wait to take them to the hospital when pain is persisting. And again, I know most of them, they have things like the painkillers at home. These low-level painkillers, paracetamol and brufen at home. You administer at home as you wait to rush the child to the hospital. Because a lot of them sometimes at night when it occurs. So you try this out as you wait to take them for treatment. This is as you manage the pain. I know sometimes it can be serious, and especially those who are still young. And again, there is something I didn't want to forget. It happened to us, and I know it's happening to most parents out there, especially from my backyard. When a child is crying, cannot sleep at night, they believe a young child. They will tell you this a child is crying because he's looking for a name. Maybe you call this child the name of someone who died long time ago, then they will stop crying. No, this child is experiencing pain. It's sickle cell. So just try to manage. But what I can advise, always, there are things you cannot do at home. Rush the child to the hospital, because there they will be tested to get to know exactly what is happening in the body. And for another thing that I think has helped so many people in line of management, we have things like adherence to the drugs. Those who are already on medication, we are there to the prescribed medication.
And the medication differs from one person to the other, right?
Yes. Because before you are introduced to certain drugs, the doctor will actually run certain tests on you. And there are drugs that will work on some people, but one person or maybe few people, it doesn't work. When you use it, you get more problem. Like, for example, I know people who are hydroxyurea is a wonder drug. So many people, and it's helping a lot, hydroxyurea. And I know of few people, when they use hydroxyurea, they get problems. So the doctor will also advise you accordingly. So that is what we advise. Don't, again, the herbal medication. I know there are people out there, they use herbal medication too much. I will not comment much on it, because I know they will tell you how it's working for them. But again, come discuss with the doctor. Let the doctor know that you use he will be able to advise you, because when you use the conventional medicine and herbal medicine, you mix them, maybe a lot of things might happen in this body of this patient. So always you consult with your doctor for advice.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr. Peter, for joining us and for shedding light on matters sickle cell. So now I'll just allow you to give us your final remarks in less than a minute.
Yeah, as I've said, sickle cell disease is a genetic blood disorder. Let us get to know our status. Don't say you don't come from Nyanza, therefore you are off it. Nowadays, sickle cell is across, it's everywhere. Just get to know your status, and most of those who are looking forward to get into marriages, please check on your genotype. Get to know your sickle cell status for you to make an informed decision.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now this conversation wraps up Good Morning Kenya for today. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you who has been tuned in from the moment we began until this point of the show. My name is Vivian Dagwa. We do this each and every weekday right here on KBC Channel 1. So see you tomorrow, same time, and please, God willing. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.